Life is like a video game, and I'm just trying to level up. Before I dive deep into this video for today, I'm gonna give you guys a little background knowledge about myself. I was an avid gamer when I was a kid, and I started playing the PS2 around 3 years old because my older cousin had it, and I would play with him until eventually my parents bought me one for myself. From there, I just play video games pretty much for my entire life. I spent the later half of my teen years and early 20s away from games, but now I can say I'm just a casual gamer. I game here and there. But in my early childhood years, I was gaming 24/7. I remember that I had learned how to read through games and not through books, believe it or not. I was so interested in the games that I wanted to understand what was going on, and so I learned how to read strictly for that purpose. I never even read a full book when I was a kid. That should tell you how much I loved gaming. Anyway, fast forward to current day today, and the concepts I was trying to understand as a kid have now come full circle and can be applied to my day to day. So let's dive in. Firstly, life is like a video game because of natural progression mechanics. Let's use Pokemon as an example in this case. In order to acquire gym badges, you must level up your Pokemon to be strong enough to beat the gym leader, which will then grant you a badge. And then if you acquire all 8, you can then challenge the Elite Four, and if you are successful against them, you will face off against the champion and have a chance to become the champion if you can win that battle. This relates a lot to life because in order to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself, you must first level up quote unquote your Pokemon, or in this case, your character stats. Now, these can be broken down into 5 categories: fitness, health, money, network, mindset. There are definitely many more stats you could consider, but for the purpose of this video, we will just focus on these 5. Fitness is how strong and mobile you are. Health is self-explanatory. Are you rich in health, or are you constantly sick and lacking health? Money has to do with the resources. Network is who you know, but also we're going to throw family into that one too, because the concept of managing relationships in your network is similar to managing relationships with family to a certain extent. Again, for the purpose of the video, we're going to pair those together, even though they very well could be separate. Lastly is your mindset. Do you have a strong or weak mindset? Similar to how video games work, you need to be able to level up each attribute in order to progress forward. In games like Call of Duty, you need to level up your player or even the guns through gaining experience in order to be able to use the next gun or the next kill streak, etc. In life, let's use fitness attribute as an example. In order to be able to move faster, stronger, or in general just be better, you need to grind it out at the gym, putting in the reps over time in order to level up that attribute and see gains both physically and visually. When you start to look at life from this lens, it becomes easier to tackle the tasks at hand. Before I had adopted this mindset about life, I found it difficult to do the things I knew I had to do. You see, most people, they know exactly what it is they need to do in order to level up their life character, but they fail to do so because they lack the discipline. If you're a gamer like myself, then when you adopt the mindset that life is just like a video game, you know you simply need to grind it out, and when it feels tough, you just need to get to the next level, and the things that once seemed hard to do become so much easier because now you're a higher level. Okay, another example here would be the game GTA, Grand Theft Auto. GTA is one of those games that if you haven't played it, you certainly have heard of it. This game is actually very much like regular life because you start off with nothing, but you can complete missions, heists, etc., and level up your guy, get money, assets, etc., and before you know it, you can live that high life in GTA. You know, drive the nice cars, have the nicest cribs, do pretty much anything you want to do simply because you grinded out your character. If you just grinded in real life, even 50% of how much you grinded in GTA, you'd be pretty successful by most people's standard. It's really that simple. Now, I'm sure you have an understanding of how life is like a video game at this point in the video. Hopefully my examples help to paint the picture. The only real difference is you don't respawn in the game of life. You only get one chance, and if you mess up hard enough, you might get booted out the game permanently, aka game over, buddy. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't play your best. Whether you like it or not, you're in the game, so you might as well compete to the best of your ability. When it's all said and done, those that grinded the game will end up somewhere at the top of the leaderboard, and those that chose to coast through life will fall to the bottom. Gamifying life makes it that much more fun to traverse through. I can create a goal in my life and then set up checkpoints with rewards for achieving those rewards. Especially when you're trying to first hop on your self improvement journey, setting up those rewards for doing the work, aka hitting the checkpoints, can really create that positive habit loop. It's quite literally a life hack. Here, I'll give you an example. Say you're struggling with going to the gym consistently. You simply add a reward that you can indulge in after successfully going to the gym for the day. It could be as simple as getting to play a video game for an hour, or maybe even smoke some weed or something, whatever floats your boat. Now, you don't want to go too crazy because that would be counterproductive, but you get the idea. Giving yourself a reward for completing the task will reinforce that positive habit loop and ensure that you build the habit that you desire.